Back in Feb, you might remember I participated in a really cool project put on by the Bookish Bryants called February Fantasy Stories, which was a great project. Well, it's time to talk about the next one. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be talking about a new project called Horror Mayhem, which has been created by the Bookish Bryants, and you may remember back in Feb I participated in another project called February Fantasy Stories, which was great. This project is going to be awesome. It's going to be bringing together a whole wide range of hosts, and what we'll be doing is choosing, well, we have chosen 4 subgenres so that each week we read short works of fiction based on whatever that subgenre is. Now, before I get into that, I just wanted to make mention of the hosts that are participating, including myself, and I'm very humbled to be a part of this group. I've got some great hosts here to share with you who have great channels and great content. So I'll read them all out to you, and I'm also going to post all the channel links below in the description, so be sure to check out all their channels, won't you? Okay, so I'll just reel them up. We have participating in the project Mindy's Book Journey, BNB Books, Shawn D Standfast, Steve Donoghue, me, Jim Reads Too Slow, Michael K. Vaughan. We have Plagued by Visions. We have Criminolly. Ollie over at Criminolly is great. You must check out his channel. Paul Reads Books, Books of Blood, Literary Labours, another Bibliophile Reads, Regina's Haunted Library, and an Autistic Reader. They're all great hosts, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of them and coming together and sharing our experiences as we go through from week to week with the subgenres that have been selected. Alright, let's get into it. Now, before I reveal my picks for the project, I'll just go through quickly what each of the subgenres are. So for week 1, it is supernatural beings or creatures. Week 2 is Gothic Horror. Week 3 is Cosmic Horror. And finally, week 4 is Folk Horror. So we've got a really good range of subgenres there where we can pick virtually countless works of fiction as part of the project. Now, myself, I chose to do short novels or novellas, purely because with short stories, I've got to really be in the mood for short stories, and I'm not quite in the mood for short stories for this project, but the picks I have made, I'm pretty happy with. But we'll just give a general overview of each subgenre and what it entails. So with supernatural and creature horror, you can't get much more of a broader subgenre than that. It can be anything from, supernatural beings could be ghosts, vampires, werewolves, shapeshifters, fairies, whatever you like, basically. And creature horror could be cryptozoological. There, I got it right on the second go. Could be creatures from other dimensions, creature from the Black Lagoon, or Cthulhu. The options are virtually endless. With Gothic Horror, it involves anything that involves decay or around haunted houses mainly. There are even definitions that go right back into medieval times as well. It's another very broad subgenre, and there's a lot of choice around that subgenre as well. Cosmic Horror. With Cosmic Horror, it doesn't limit you to just outer space horror like Alien or anything like that. You can focus on trans-dimensional beings, monsters from another time, or time travel, whatever you like there. So that's a little bit more of a niche subgenre. And then of course we have folk horror, which involves things like ancient traditions, ancient gods, cults, worship. That's what I associate folk horror with. So again, there's an absolute score of material out there just waiting to be read, and I think this project is going to be fantastic. Again, it gets me slightly out of my comfort zone, although I'm a pretty well read horror reader, so I thought a couple of my picks are going to be a little bit different. and I'm going to go through those right now. So for supernatural creature horror, I actually decided to read The Rats by James Herbert. This book I've had on my shelves for quite a while, and I haven't actually read it for a lot of years, probably since I was a teenager actually, and when I was really into James Herbert stuff, and I'm looking at eventually getting back into his stuff because he's now passed. I think he passed in 2010 or 2011, I'm not quite sure. But it's nice and short. I think it's about 175 pages, and it's, I think, a perfect fit for supernatural creatures. So looking forward to that. Now for week 2, which is Gothic Horror, I've chosen an Australian author. I like to support Aussie authors where I can, and I'm actually going with The Haunting of Rookwood House by Darcy Coates. She's a very underrated author. She has a fairly large body of work that she's been prolifically putting out there, and she's written a book of 50 short stories which I've read, which were great, and she excels at the haunted house story. So I'm glad to have chosen that, and I think I'm going to have a blast with it. It should be a lot of fun. Now, this particular book is a little bit longer than the 250 page limit, but the Bookish Bryants, Becky and Scott, they're pretty flexible, so the rules can be bent to your will. You can pretty much read what you like and how long you like, as long as you're reading the various subgenres of horror. So I'm really looking forward to that for week 2. Week 3 for cosmic horror, I'm taking a leap of faith and trying an author I haven't read yet called Caitlin R. Kiernan, and I'm going to be reading Agents of Dreamland, which after reading the cover blurb, I found it pretty intriguing, and something I haven't really read much before in this subgenre. So it's going to be an education for me, and it's still going to get me out of my comfort zone, and I might develop an appreciation for that subgenre, and may read more of it. So that's the beauty of the project. It actually exposes you to things you normally wouldn't read, and it opens up more opportunities, and can be expensive on the wallet too. So week 4 for folk horror, I've gone with a fairly mainstream one here, and a very well-known book by the master himself, Stephen King. I've decided to go with Thinner. Now, I believe this ticks all the boxes for folk horror. It's got a gypsy curse in it. How much more folk horror can you get than that? Ancient gypsy traditions and mysticism from the main character Lemke putting a curse on poor Billy Halleck. Touches his cheek and says, "Thinner." And of course Billy Halleck finds himself losing weight at a phenomenal rate, and yeah, it's I haven't read it for a few years, but the adaptation is quite good. But I'm looking forward to revisiting Thinner. I will have a lot of fun with that, and I like how the format of the book, instead of having chapters, it has Billy Halleck's weight going down. And yeah, I remember a little bit of the book, but as I said, it's been quite a long time since I've actually read the book. So they are my picks for Horror Mayhem. Make sure you check out all the pages of the fellow hosts that I've mentioned, and as I said, I've put them in the description below. And for each subgenre each week, I'll be doing one video a week, and I'll aim to have those uploaded on the channel towards the end, if not on the weekend of each specific week. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, looking forward to sharing my thoughts and impressions of what I've chosen, and I think I'm pretty happy with my selections there, and along with everyone else that I've been chatting with. All the hosts are very, very excited for this one, and I think there's a lot more hosts than there were for February Fantasy Stories, and I've been watching a lot of the channels announcement videos, and wow, there is some awesome picks that people have made, and all their videos are going to be on their specific channels, and they're also going to be available in one place. The Bookish Bryants will actually have them posted as well. So make sure you tune into the channels, and I believe Scott and Becky are teeing up a live video chat in the very, very near future, which I've I've put my hand up for that, so we can join with the other hosts and have a good old natter about the awesome genre of horror. So there you go. That is it for me as to what's coming up on the channel. I'll be doing my monthly wrap-up, which I'll put that video out this weekend, let you know what I have read, and I'll also be doing a couple of reviews, and I have promised that I'm doing a non-book related video, and having just gotten over this virus, I'll be in a position to do that in the coming weeks. So thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, see you later.